Ran across a little short video on Instagram, and it was funny to me. It was funny, and it made me think about making this video. That's what made me make this video. And it's a video, very short video, probably about 20 to 30 seconds long, and it just shows the importance of a father. And I'm gonna play that video, and after I play that video, I'm gonna give commentary on it. So let's go to that video. Um, so I want y'all to watch this again. I'm gonna let you watch it again because I want you to see what happened in this video. As y'all seen, this looks like a young man, and he's running on a treadmill, and his father told him. Now we don't hear his father say that, but his father said it at the end, so we know his father's not lying. But his father had already instructed him about putting it at a certain speed, and of course, we as young boys, we think we Superman. We don't listen sometimes, and it costs us. And so because he didn't listen to his father, and he put it on 10, I believe I heard his father say or whatever, he got to flexing and thought trying to take his shirt off on the treadmill. Now, one thing you never do is try to do certain movement like that when you're on a treadmill, especially if it's going kind of fast. You don't try to take a shirt off or nothing like that there, because of course the treadmill can run over you. And of course that's what happened to this young man in the video. He, like I said, he didn't listen to his father, and he left that treadmill on a high speed, and what happened was it overtook him, and he fell down. Now let's say, and as you seen on the backdrop, I had a cup, and it had a cup compound, and it had the word "Fathers Matter," and it was made out of elements. I'm gonna go back to that after I let y'all watch this video again, and it was just showing how important the father is, and that's what made me make this video. And before I get deep into my commentary, I want to let y'all watch it one more time, because see, had this been a mother, if he was raised by just his mother, and this would have happened, what his mama would have done? She would have ran over and tried to nurture him and coddle him and see if he was all right. And mind you, don't get it twisted. That's what the woman's role is. But if it's a man, if a boy, especially a boy, a girl or a boy, but especially if a boy is being raised by a mother and no man in the home, he's over nurtured. He's over loved. And what that happens is it creates a weak man that we see in our society. It creates an overly emotional man that goes in our society, and that leads to a whole bunch of other things. That's why we killing up each other. That's why we being killed by police like we being killed. Because why is that? These young men is not raised by a father, so they don't respect authority. Because the mother is not an authoritative figure. Let's be real. And so when this guy is telling them to put their hands on the car, put their hand on the steering wheel, they get in their feelings, and they have so much mama in them, they get overly emotional, and next thing you know, somebody's dead. Not justifying it, but these are the reasons. But I'm gonna play this video one more time before I go deeper into this commentary. So you see what happened in that video. And like I said, you see this video. I mean, you see this backdrop, and of course they composed the words "Black Father" from Elements. As you see, and it says at the bottom the essential element. And I thought that was very neat for them to do because it says a whole lot about how important the black father is. Um, and the reason why I'm speaking about the black father because we are the highest. We are in our community. No community suffer from fatherless home like us. 70% of our children are being raised by a single mother, and like I said, that has a gateway of so many other factors that happens in our life. It hurts us even when we date, even in our love life. That hurts us being raised by mama and always being coddled and always being a part of this overly emotional energy that the mother protrudes. Once again, this is why black on black crime is at an all time high because we wasn't raised to be able to. If we not raised by our father, we not raised with a disciplinary problem solving mindset. Because why is that? And it's no disrespect to the woman, because the woman is very important in her essential nature. She's very essential too. Excuse me. But of course, we know that even if you being raised by a single father, you're gonna be overly tough. Whether you're a girl or a boy, you need both parents. But unfortunately, in our community, it's the other way around. And most of our young men are being raised by single mothers. And these mothers, they nurturing maternal DNA, it overtakes the young men and the young women, but for sure the young men. And so when they go out in the streets and they have issues, not only do they have that energy from their mother as being overly emotional, a lot of time in these single parent households, the mother is angry for a lot of different reasons, whether it be for her reproducing with a nobody and wasn't there to help her with her kids. So she got a hard life because raising these kids on her own, that can make her angry. Sometimes they angry from childhood because they didn't grow up with a father. So it's a lot of different reasons these women angry. They in and out of relationship before they give before they give themselves a chance to heal. And so they're very angry and they put that forth to the child, and the child brings that energy in the street, at the schools, in the neighborhoods. And as they grow up, they don't know how to deal with that anger because they so overly emotional like a female, and they don't have a man to help them organize that anger, or not so much as organize it, compartmentalize it, right? Because anger is a good thing at a certain time, but if it's too much, it can overflow, and that's what you see in the black community, anger. When you look at the black community today, all you see is anger, hate. If you listen to our music, you got a few rappers who make music about money, and but for most of these rappers, they rapping about killing other rappers, killing other people, just hate. Our communities in the black American culture is about hate toward each other. Like we hate each other so much. We get some money. Where do we move? We move around the white people, not so much because we love white people, but because we hate our own people, and not so much because of that. Also, is because our own people gonna hate on us and begin to steal from us and plot against us. So it's nothing but hate in our community. And to move forward as a race, listen, you have these people who make these videos about black generational wealth and black this and black that. Listen, until we build a black family back, none of that is happening. You get these people and they going, and I want to be clear before I say what I'm about to say, because I know a lot of time in our community we got a gender war going on. Gender war is going on only in the black community. All these podcasts and all TikToks and all this about relationship, it's black people. You don't see white people doing that. And if you do, it's so sprinkled you barely even notice it. These people is marrying who they love, creating generational wealth, and carrying on their legacy and making sure the people that come behind them have a better life than them. This is what all these other races doing, and you know what we doing as a community? Competing with each other, killing each other, hating on each other, throwing each other under the bus. We hate each other, but we'll get on the TV and march and do all that when something happens to one of us by the hands of another race of people. But when it comes to us, it's no big deal. That's that. Listen, that you listen, and I know this video about why black fathers matter, and I'm about to go off into that, but I had to say this, and I don't know why this came about. That is so insane to me. Like I mean, and you know, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that seems so insane and disingenuous to me that you have children all over the United States in urban neighborhoods who get shot and sometimes killed every day from a stray bullet when they was just sitting in their project house or their apartment house or their home playing video games and some dude was shooting outside and a bullet went in and hit them and killed them, right? And it's no public outrage, it's no help, it's no nothing. But the minute a person of another race kill one of us or police or anything, we outrage. Like that mean that, but it says a lot. You know, a lot of times a statement can be made without your mouth. That's, you know what that said? That says that we so numb to when we do it to ourselves because we hate each other so much that that's what we supposed to do. But when somebody else do it, it's a problem. We gonna kill each other. We gonna do that. You know, the black woman, she number one in the nation for abortion. You know, a whole generation have been killed in the womb, right? And so, you know, it's okay for all that. It's okay for black on crack, black crime to be out of control. But when it comes to somebody else doing it, it's a problem. And that just shows, that says so much. Like, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a black man, and I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times, it's just embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing that people that look like you, that represent you, because we all represent each other. Wherever I go, whatever I do as a black man, I represent other black men that come behind me, whether I like it or not. And the one that came before me, whatever it is, if it's at a job site, wherever it's at, I'm a representation first and foremost. I know people might say, well, we not supposed to be judging, and people don't judge, and people will even say we don't judge. But best believe one thing, when you a black person, that's why I made this channel for the black community. When you a black person, what you do, what matters. Somebody else might, and I'm not no victim. I'm not blaming nobody. This is not one of those channels. This is not a gender war channel. This is not a woe to me because I'm black channel. This is not the evil white man, the evil Jew. That's not what this channel about. This is a pro-truth channel. That's what this channel is. And I'm not a victim. Black people are not victims. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna rectify the truth. Listen, black man, when you do something, it's worse than when anybody else do it. And the reason why that is because you're not in power. You're not empowering yourself. You're not empowering your community. But what you're doing is when you get into a certain situation financially or anything, you go empower other people instead of empowering yourself. And so we'll sit back and we'll cry about what the police is doing, about when a judge give a young 17-year-old first offender 50 years. We'll cry about those things. And a lot of sometimes maybe those things is from racial background, but a lot of times those things ain't racial. Those things are culture issues. And what do I mean by that? You know, anybody, even animals, gonna show more compassion and love to somebody who look like them, right? But in our community, we too busy trying to make our kids be a rapper, be the next LeBron, be the next Michael Jordan, be the next Michael Vick. We so right. We so focused on our children being the next athlete or the next rapper that we don't realize the small thing. Now, don't get it twisted. I do support and I do promote, you're putting your children in sports, not for them to go to the NBA. If that happens, thank God, that's a blessing, because they once you make it to the NBA and you play sports, you have a platform now, and you can use that platform to do good, or you can use it to do evil. But I'm saying, reason why I promote especially single mothers, to put their children in some type of sport or activity, is because it teaches them responsibility, it teaches them accountability, it teaches them discipline, right? And if they so happen to make it to the league, so be it. But these other races of people, their mindset is on owning the league, whereas our mindset is on playing for the league, right? And so that's why when we get in these situations and certain type of situations take place, it's hard on us because we don't own nothing. We just the employee. We got to black Americans have an employee communist mindset that they always want to depend on somebody that don't look like them. They don't even respect their own kind in most situations, right? And so here it is, you have these type of situations, and your children, and going back to the situation with a father, right? And so, you know, and going no, I gotta let me finish that before I go back to that. And so you have your children instead of saying, you know what, you go be a police officer, more attainable goals, and you can do great things. Police officers, lawyers, judges, you can be rich and just successful as these athletes if you invest in the right thing that you need to invest in. You get a financial advisor if you're not savvy with it when it comes to financial things. You can not only can you invest, you can be a venture capitalist. It's you can save your money. It's multiple things you can do besides be an athlete to be rich, right? And so these other races understand these things. So, yeah, they gonna make it to the league if that's what they decide to do in their life and that's what they want to do. But the most important thing is for them to, and I speak about this in my videos, is to be in a situation where they can help people that look like them, even if they don't like them. Let me say something. These other races, they have their issues too. They don't all love each other. There ain't no kumbaya with all these other races and cultures, but they understand when it comes to the bottom line, when it comes to their bloodline, and when it comes to people that look like them, they understand that we gotta come together. We put all that BS. We'll do whatever we do when we leave this office. But while we in this office, we gotta stick together, right? But black people, they so emotional and they always act out of their emotions, and they can't grasp that, right? And so we were sending our children to school to be judges more often than we was trying to force them to be the next LeBron James. They would have more black judges, and therefore when we do have a brother or a sister that make a mistake in our community, they would be able to go in front of a judge that look like them. And they would get a little bit more compassion than that white judge that don't have no compassion for you in some situations, because they do have white judges that they believe in God and they do everything, but that's very, very, that's like finding the needle in the haystack. And another thing, like I said, it's not because the judge, no, it's not that he racist, it's culture. The guidelines say he can give you 0 to 99 for this charge. And because he don't have no compassion for you for what you did, 17-year-old black man, first offender, he gonna give you 50 years. Whereas if it was a white boy, he might say, you know what, that little boy look like my nephew, my son, my nephew, my sister, my auntie, my uncle. So I'm gonna give him a light sentence, 5 years, right? And you can't, and it may look racist, but it's not that he racist, it's not that he hate black people, but it's that he got more compassion for somebody who look like him versus somebody who don't. Now I want to go back to what I was saying about the fathers, and what made me really make this video. Fathers are important in a child's life. Fathers are important disciplinarians. Fathers are important for structure, right? And like I said in this video with the young man, if that was his mother, you know what she'd have did? She'd have ran over there and coddled him. And that small video, I think, was 20 seconds, but it spoke a lot to me. It spoke a lot to me, and that's why I'm making this video, so it can speak to y'all. That video spoke so much volume that the father didn't curse him out, wasn't fussing at him, but he, as a man, he manly masculine to and disciplinaried his son. Didn't whip him, didn't put his hand on him, didn't punish him, but told him, look, I told you what you did wrong, I mean, I told you what was gonna happen if you did this. You didn't listen, and now it happened. And I'm not going to pick you up and brush you off and rub your head and tell you it's all right, because it's not all right. And that's what we need more of in the black community. Is the woman essential? Of course. The woman is just as essential as the man. But the man that the role that the man plays can sometimes be more important dealing with life. Cause let me break something down to you, black man. And I make these videos. As a matter of fact, I got a series on my channel called Message to the Black Man. Um, Listen, black man, the world don't care about you, bro. Unless you a homosexual. You're a homosexual, the world have a little bit more compassion for you. But as a straight black man, listen, man, the world do not care about you, bro. They don't. And so, what his father did in that video may seem harsh to some people. Some people may say, "Well, he didn't have to do that. He should have went seen if his son was okay, and he should have went checked and seen if his son was hurt." And I mean, and he didn't have to fuss at him. His son had already hurt himself, so that was his lesson. He didn't have to fuss. But the reason why I liked it that so much, and the reason why I support fathers treating their son that way, because guess what, Jack? That's how the world gonna treat you. As a black man, a straight black man. Because as I said, if you gay, you'll get a little bit more compassion and love because they know you're not a threat. But the straight thinking, the free thinking straight black man, you are a threat, man. You are a threat. And guess what? No one cares about you. No one gonna show you compassion. No one cares about your sad story. No one cares. No one cares. And in situations like that, that young man is a young man, and he got his father in his life. When he go into the world as he get older, and he get treated certain ways, he gonna be able to deal with that better than a child that was raised by his mother, and be overly emotional, because he used to somebody yelling at him when he down, and that's what they gonna do, you black man. And listen, let me show you something else. That's the black man that is like I said, straight, free thinking, and don't have no criminal background. If you got a criminal background, listen, man, they gon' listen. If you got I need you to listen to me, bro, because people get caught up in these situations, man, and Lord knows I hope this video touched the right person. Listen, bro, a lot of these young brothers get caught up in this street life, thinking the street life is all good. But listen, the street life is good until you get caught. And guess what? You gonna get caught. You gonna get caught with these smartphones, and it's no way you gonna get caught. And if you're not somebody who doing in the drug trade, if you a robber or a thief, you gonna get caught. And once you get that jacket of being a convicted felon, everything I said before is extra now. Because like I say, America don't care about you, black man. They don't care about your story. They don't care about you didn't grow up without your father. They do not care. But when you get a convicted felon, when you get a felon on your jacket, you're a convicted felon, non-aggravated, and Lord, please don't let it be aggravated. But whether it's non-aggravated or not, listen, they not even gonna hire you to work at fast food. So now what you gonna have to do, you gonna have to stay in the streets. Now you stuck in the street. You was doing it to get the girl, doing it to get fast money at first, but now you got caught, or whatever it is you was doing in the street. You got caught now, because hopefully you doing stuff in the street to get money. Whatever you doing in the street, you shouldn't be doing it, but I'm saying if you gonna be doing it, it need to be to get some money. So whatever it is you doing in the street to quote unquote get some money, if it's illegal when you do get caught, because you gonna get caught, now guess what you got to deal with? A jacket. And now they not even going to show you, because they, listen, in most of these situations, they already don't want to give you a shot. You know, I tell brothers all the time, now I'm not in corporate America. I never was in corporate America, but I got a lot of friends in corporate America. And corporate America is not for the black man. It's just not. It's not. It's not for you, black man, because you got two altars. When people look at you as two ways in corporate America. And like I said, I've never been in corporate America, but I have buku people who I know is in corporate America, and I did field reports on people that's in corporate America as black men. It's not for you. You two people, either you the black man that everybody get to walk all over, or you the black man who looked at as the angry black man, and people stay away from you, and anything you do, you getting rolled up and sent to HR until you eventually out of that job and you got to move to another one, and you might not get hired no more. Depends on what it is. That's the only two alters you got in the black, and that's the only two alters that the black man have in corporate America. And why am I saying all this here? Because some people may say, well, what are we supposed to do? This is why we supposed to be, as black people, instead of steady crying for equality, instead of always blaming the white man, instead of always blaming the Jew, we need to take some pointers from them. Because see, me, I'm not a victim. I don't give nobody power over me by saying that they holding me back. Ain't nobody holding black people back but black people. That's the only people holding black people back. And then they get on their high horse, all these black celebrities, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, they get on their high horse and they like to speak about what's going on in the black community. But when they get in these positions, they go hire all white people and all Jewish people. They empower these people. They don't empower their own people. And a lot of time, it's not because they don't want to. It's because we got that, once again, like I said, that angry, hateful spirit toward one another, so they don't even want to trust one of their own, because there's always something going on behind the scenes when we trust one of our own. We got to get rid of that. Listen, man, the message that I always speak on and the message that I always spread is we as a community need to turn back to the Most High. Follow his laws and commandments, treat each other well, and begin to create a culture within our community that supports our community. Stop begging, stop blaming, because it's nobody's fault at this point. The white man and the Jewish man, all they doing right now is capitalizing off our mistakes. These lawyers, they not making you sell dope, but when you sell it, they'll be willing to represent you. These people who make all these designer clothes, these jewelry, they not making you buy their jewelry, but you empower them when you go spend all your money with these people who don't do nothing for your community, don't care about your community. Man, they move here. People, foreigners move here, and at the board meeting, they got a black person sitting there on the poster. This is our target, because they know that the black man and the black woman only goal in life is to look like they important, to feel important, and to flex on their own people. Majority, not all, but most. They not worried about being rulers. They not worried about getting a piece in America and ruling it, and for the way they can shower that down on their people. They just worrying about they play. That's why I always say, bro, when they talk about these reparations and all this foolishness, I don't be even wanting to listen to that. Because right now today, black people don't even need reparations. Do I think that we could get reparations? Do I think we should deserve reparations? Listen, is a debt owed to America. If you come from a slavery, not all black, because all blacks didn't come from slave. But if your descendants were slaves, even those slaves was paid. And like I always tell people, slavery, sometimes we gotta go through a hard time for our people, for our bloodline that's coming after us. Our slave ancestors, if you are ancestor of slave, if your ancestor was slave, they went through a hard time so you could be in the greatest country in the world, which is America. Right? But I will say this here. I do think that if your ancestor was a slave, the thing that they went through, since everybody else got reparations, we deserve to get them too. We deserve to get them too. But if you ask me, what do we think? What do I think we should get as reparation? I don't think it should be no money. I think we should be able to have a free education. We should get at least a free acre of land, and we should be exempt from tax. And because of Africa was the original country who sold us in the first place, they don't get off the hook. I also feel that we should get a stock in natural resources in Africa. Because as you know, Africa is full of natural resources. So that's what I feel that we should get as reparations. But reparation is the last thing that we need to be worrying about right now. We got the spending power in just our community to listen. I would listen to a brother speak.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this
I was listening to a brother speak on the Breakfast Club, a smart brother. I forgot his name, man. Damn, I forgot his brother's name. And he was saying about how in our community alone, we got enough money. We got enough money. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to that video. Yeah, I gotta let y'all hear this. I gotta let y'all hear this brother say this because it's so important what he's saying. It's so important what this brother is saying. I think I got the video saved. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Okay, let's go here. I know where I can find it. Yeah, cause I gotta let y'all hear this video, and this is just so important to me. When I heard this, I was like, that's so crazy that a brother we got this much money in our community, but yet we worrying about this brother right here. I forgot his name. Y'all might
right now, do you know we brought in $1.3 trillion last year as a people? Out of 226 nations on the earth, that makes black people in America the 8th richest nation. We brought in $600 billion more than Spain. $700 billion more than Mexico. Yet Spain has 46 million people like we do, and they maintain a 208,000 square mile landmass, and they own everything. Mexico has 131,700,000 people, and they're maintaining 771,500 square miles with half the money we have. Yet they have whole country, and we don't have nothing we can call our own. Something happened to us. We got to get back into what they call today financial literacy, but we got to do it quick because we got to start doing something for ourselves. We got the dollars, we just need some more sense to go with them dollars. We need some more sense because right now we the leaders in unnecessary spending. We always buying stuff we don't need with money that we don't have from people that we don't like to impress people that we don't even know. And the Negro, the black mind right now has been hardwired where happiness is connected to spending when it needs to be hardwired to investing and to save. And if we can renegotiate the contract in the black psyche, well, happiness to spending, to investing and saving, I think we'll be able to build a bright future for our people.
Some of y'all might know. Some of y'all might know the brother name. Brother, a real smart brother. And of course he laid that out perfect, man. But I want to get back to the initial subject, and that's and all that sounds good. All that's a great thing. But none of that's gonna ever happen until we build back the nuclear family. And like I say, before I say what I'm about to say, I don't want people to take it and run with it and take it as disrespect toward our black women. I love our black women. A lot of them lost, and that's our fault as men. Whatever you want to say about the black woman, black man, you gotta blame yourself. Now you can't blame yourself for every black woman, but it's a black man who the cause of every black woman issues in America. Whatever she's going through, if she's angry, it's because of black man. And if it's because her father wasn't there for her, it's his fault. And you may say, well, what if the mother ran her father off? Well, only way she would do that is if she had some anger that she haven't took care of before she reproduced, before she got in a relationship that caused the man to run off. And no man should be ran off from his kid. I understand that some of these women are hard to deal with, but that should have nothing to do with your child. Now, if she play game, you need to do what you have to do, man up, and go to court and get a situation where if you can't get into a situation where if you can't win custody, full custody of your child, you at least be able to have supervised visits or unsupervised visits, whatever the situation may be. You got to man up and stop making excuses, right? But none of what he's saying is gonna happen until we bring back the family. And like I said, I was about to say, the black woman, she loves to go get 100 degrees and get on these shows and talk about how she's the prize and how black women are the most educated and successful people in America and all this and all that. But as we know, the black woman is not doing anything for the black community. Not one little thing. Yeah, she'll get on her soapbox whenever it's, and not all they got. I don't want to be clear. I'm saying most, because most of these women they are liberal. Most of our women in our community are liberal women, And they not a threat. Nobody worrying about them. And I'm saying that to say, yes, they the most educated in America. I think the black woman. But what are they doing for the black community? What are they doing? Those numbers that he just said, they add into those numbers of the $1 trillion. That's them. They the ones who buy every damn thing. The more money the black woman make, the more trips she spend, the more designer she buy, and the more stuff she buy to stunt on. Not in all cases, but in most cases to stunt on her other people. That's what she do. And nowadays to compete with the man, to show that she don't need a man, which is that's the most stupidest thing that we I made a video on gender war in our community, which is a bad thing in our community, and um you know that's one of the main issues in our community, the gender war, because nobody else having this in their community, but we so separated. But until we bring back the nuclear family and the woman begin to play her role and the father begin to play his role, and we create that nuclear family like we had before the civil rights movement, nothing gonna change. But like I said, reading what made me want to make this video, and I know I went long and I said a lot of things in this video that's useful. But the main thing is, it's very important for a man to be in his son's life, man. To show him that no mercy. It's time when you're supposed to coddle your son as a father as well. He needs love from both his parents. Although the woman, that's her maternal DNA, was to be a nurturer. But the father got to nurture sometime too. But he's supposed to be more of a disciplinarian and a structuring. And in that video that I seen, that's how black men need to treat their fathers. Lick your wound, get up. Because when you go out in the world, listen, that's how the world gonna treat you, man. They not gonna have no mercy for you, bro. And like I said, you make a mistake as a teenager, it doesn't matter. You make a mistake and get a felony on your record, and now you're a convicted felon. Listen, and if it's aggravated, oh my goodness, that's even triple worse. Nobody gonna want to hide. And then we living in a time now where there's so much stuff going on in the world, right? It's so much stuff going on in the world, and these corporations is losing billions of dollars a year collectively, from situation that's taking place at their job, from people who they gave a shot to. And a lot of times when these things happen, even when the mass shooting and the shootings and all these things that go on all over the world now, that's coming from all races these days. At one particular time, mass shooting was only a white thing. Now it's everybody. But a lot of these things and crime that's taking place at the workplace and taking place in the world with people of our race, because that's what this channel geared toward. I mean, everybody else got their own thing. It's not my business to speak on nobody else's race. It's only my business to focus on my race and the people who look like me, who seem not to have it together, who is going at each other, who is just in complete disarray, right? And so, with that being said, you mess around and have a charge or something on your jacket with all the stuff going on in the world today, people not even gonna want to give you a shot, because these people that's getting caught up in all this foolishness these days is people who got criminal records, and people is looking at that. And if something happened at a job site, I don't care if it's flipping burgers. Back in the day, if you was a convicted felon, you knew if all else failed, you can get a job in fast food. They won't even hire you there no more, because if something happened with you and a customer, and you end up, something happened with you and a customer, guess what happened? It's gonna come back that he was a convicted felon. You hired that convicted felon. Now your job already gonna be liable, but y'all gonna double be liable. And corporations is losing billions of dollars. So now you get a charged black man, straight black man, you really ain't got no opportunity. And this is why we as blacks need to stop crying, begging, and blaming other people, and use that money to create. Because we still be able to have money and have fun if we create. See these other races of people that came to America. They had a plan. They had a plan that we gonna take the back. We gonna struggle right now to bring our stuff together, right? And I made a video about that. I think y'all need to go check it out. The Message to the Black Community. I think volume 14, I believe, 13 or 14, and I spoke about that. How the white people came over here with a plan. They knew it wasn't gonna be all sweet and dandy at first, but their job was to build generational wealth not as a family, but as a community. You know, some of us in the black community, families got generational wealth because we did the right thing, but we got to start doing it as a culture, as a community, not just as a family. We got to care, and that's our mindset. Forget them, let them get it how we got it. But these other races not doing that, and not to compare ourselves to them. I have to show a level playing. It have to be a level playing field, or we gonna forever be losing. Yes, it might have somebody in the family, even in family. You know how black families is. Guess what? The one who might make it or get rich, they don't come back and throw the hook down for everybody to climb up. They walk around like they high and mighty, and that's something we have to stop. We have to come together and we build businesses, build corporations on our own, and that way we can give our people that come home from prison for making a mistake, whether it was a mistake or it wasn't a mistake. That's their past, they're a changed man now, and we will be able to have our own corporations and businesses because we got the money to do it. We just gonna have to take that small, like the brother said in the video, the stuff that the happiness that we get out of spending and showing off to impress people. We need to get that same happiness to invest and save and create businesses, create cultures. Create businesses, create corporations, so we can hire each other, so we can give each other home. Don't you know you got a convicted felon? You can't even stay anywhere. And so now you might have to stay in a bad situation or stay with your parents or whatever because you made a mistake when you was a teenager, and now you can't even get nobody don't even want to let you stay in their apartment complex. It's hard to get, it's hard to do stuff when you're a convicted felon. And like I said, black man, you already not gonna have no mercy. And these things make it hard once you get a convicted felon. But if we own stuff and we was able to, and we had our own, we was creators of things. If we had our own color, we could look at a black man and say, "Look, I understand you made a mistake because my cousin made the same mistake. I'm willing to give you a job and not underpay you. Okay, I understand you made a mistake, and I'm willing to give you somewhere to stay. You passed the background check. You got your deposit. You got your your first month. I'm letting you stay in my apartment complex because we own it, but we don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. We don't own anything. And we get stuck in these bad situations, and then now we got to go back to what we was doing that put us in jail. And what does that do? That makes us go in and out of jail. In and out of jail hurts our mental health. It hurts our family, and it's more money that's being put in the pockets of other people that we so say oppressing us. They not oppressing us. And if they is oppressing us, we giving them the rope to oppress us with. We giving them the whip to oppress us with. Picture giving somebody the whip to whip you. You in a time now where nobody got the whip no more. It's no slavery, but you saying, you know what? Here's the whip, and I want you to whip me. Ain't that something? But yeah, man, I'm gonna close this video out, man, and I just wanted to speak on that, man, because I seen that little short video, man, and it just told me so much. It showed me because I've experienced it. I've made mistakes in my life, and it came back to haunt me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but we don't understand that in life, and so we get a point in life where, it's like every door is being shut in our face, and because we didn't have a father, we didn't have nobody to teach us what to be. My father, even my mama was great too, and they both raised us. Listen. You make decisions, you're going to have to pay for them in life. You make your bed hard, you're going to have to lay in it. But a lot of young brothers, they not knowing what they going to be up against when they come home. They not knowing right now what they going to be up against if they get a charge. Which if they doing anything illegal, they're going to get a charge. And now you trapped. That's why I call it the trap. Because once you get in, it's hard to get out. Only thing going to get you out is either a graveyard or a long prison sentence. Because now you got that on your jacket. Nobody don't want you staying in their apartment complex. Then they keep you attached to certain women you don't even want to be attached because now you got to put everything in their name. And it's just a bunch of foolishness, man. So black man, I want to say this to you. If you got children, man, stay in your children's life and teach them structure and teach them discipline and teach them that the world is not going to, the world is not going to feel sorry for them. Nobody gonna feel sorry for them. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Nobody gonna say, well, you know what, man, nobody's gonna do it. Yes, you may have somebody who may give you a chance, but that's like finding a needle in the haystack. The needle is there, but it's hard to find. So be careful who you reproduce with. Be careful of these things, because if you reproduce with the wrong woman, you may not even get an opportunity to be a father, because these judges, these liberal judges, they gonna side with the woman because they know how destructive that's gonna be to the child, and then one day they'll get a chance to see that child again. Only this time he gonna have an orange jumpsuit on, and once that happens, your life over with. And when I say your life over with, your corporate life, you gotta do something for yourself. And there's so many ways you can get money on your own. But the main issue, my two things that I need to be took from this video is this. We have to create our own corporations. We have the funds to do it. We have to make sure we stay in our children's life. And as black men, we need to understand that nobody cares about you, black man. No one cares. Nobody cares about your sad story. Nobody cares about a mistake you made at 17 and now you 40. No one cares. No one cares. And no one gonna give you a chance. And a lot of times, because your own people because we got so much hate toward each other in our own community, a lot of times your own people might not give you a chance. So this is why you gotta be careful of the decisions that you make. All that, well, I was young and I didn't understand. Listen, man, that's baloney. Nobody want to hear that. I'm just keeping it a brick, which I'm keeping it real. This channel is a pro-truth channel. But yeah, man, like I say, I kind of went in and went longer than I expected. But that was a great video, man. That was a great video, because we know if it was a video with a mother, she'd have been coddling him and oh, you okay? And that's all good, fine and dandy. After his daddy said what he said, not come do that. And then I'd have stopped my wife. No, he good. He got up. He ain't bleed. He ain't nothing broke. Get back up and try again, or go take you a seat and rest. But he said what he was supposed to say to his son. And you got to teach your son that, because the thing that is planted in your child as a youth, that's who they're going to grow up to be. They grew up, if they was coddled as a youth, they're going to think somebody going to coddle them and owe them some when they get older. Listen, when you warn, you make a mistake, you fall, you get back up. But nobody going to feel sorry for you. And I thank y'all for watching this video. God bless.